Okay, hello everyone. Um, got another video recording here, and this one is actually a personal treat for me. This fan, I'm actually going to be able to sit down to operate this one for you guys, but this fan is childhood for me. It's my personal childhood fan, and found it on eBay, new. It was just open box was the condition on the description and or the condition thing, and I bought it and it's here now. Um, so yeah, this is the first fan I ever got attached to when I was a kid, and it is actually the first remote controlled fan I ever operated as a kid, as well as the first remote control fan that I have in my collection. So this claims its very well spot as my first ever remote controlled ceiling fan. I hope to get more soon. So yeah, what you see here is the Hampton Bay Redington 3 ceiling fan. And yeah, it's just like I remember it. I know remote controlled ceiling fans normally make, some of them anyway, normally make clicking noises whenever you're switching either the speeds or switching it to reverse, but this one, the way the click sounds is just different. I don't know what it is, but it just makes that same clicking noise, but in a more nostalgic way. So, without further ado, let's test the light. So all I gotta do now is press the buttons while I'm showing you guys. So it just kind of fades up. That's just like the one did. Oh, and the where my the reason why this is my childhood fan is because this is the fan that was installed before the Pawtucket, or the installed. It was installed before the Harbor Breeze Pawtucket, way before, in the early 2000s at my grandparents' house on my mom's side, which is grandparents' house one on this channel. Um, it was in the living room way before the Pawtucket even was manufactured. So I remember my last time operating it before they took it down because, well, unfortunately the capacitor had finally gone bad in it, and you would click low speed. So I'm gonna dim the light while I'm talking. You would put it to it would be on low speed, and low speed would seemingly be the fastest speed there, or actually medium was. Low speed would spin just barely faster than high though. Here, I'm gonna reset it here. There's the light. Okay, let's start it on low. Here comes low. Yeah, I had talked with my granny about it. I was like, well, let me see if I can give this thing another whirl. So I picked up the remote, just like the one I just showed you guys, and I pressed medium speed because I thought it was on low, and it got slower. And I was like, say what? Or actually, no, I think I clicked medium speed and it barely got faster, or something like that. Yeah, I think it got slower on medium speed. Um, and then I went to high speed and it barely sped back up. And on high speed it was spinning about this fast, what this one is doing right now. So it was obvious that the capacitor had gone bad. The fan was probably installed for 15 years at the time, so it was ready for its retirement of the capacitor anyway. But they ended up throwing away the everything but the light kit on it, and the light shades. Luckily, I got to keep those parts. I only got those parts years after they got rid of it, though. So I'm glad I got the parts when I did, because they were probably really close to getting rid of the rest of the parts of it if I hadn't have grabbed them when I did, or I asked about them at least. So yeah, notice the better lighting as well. I've installed some better lighting in my truss system that I've got going on here, so now we can see a little better. Now that I've turned off all my other fans, this thing seems to be spinning a little faster now. Uh, my fans, when they're all on, they cause a current draw of both amps and wind draw. So when there's a lot of wind in here, the fans can either go slower, or they can't speed up very much. So it's very weird. Medium. And I will get you guys an up close of it. I'll show you guys why I love the clicking noise so much. You can kind of hear the metallic noise when it clicks. It's weird. So there it is. I believe the reason why I was so attached to this thing is because how antique the motor housing looks. It looks kind of like a spaceship in a way. I mean, everything about this fan is just so antique looking. We're not even on high yet, and it's already making some of the wind noise. So this thing's already outperforming the Clarkston. It's nice and quiet. It's got a nice quiet motor. Unfortunately, I can't use this on my wall control or the dimmer switch because it only had a black and a white wire at the top. The remote receiver is actually in the light kit, so there was no extra wire in the canopy. So I can't have it on any other speed than max on the wall control. It's just strictly remote controlled now. Let's go to high. As it speeds up, it does wobble a little bit, but it stabilizes back out. I do love the way the canopy looks. It's got those rings on it, as well as the extra ring to cover up the screws, and the ring on the bottom of the canopy to cover up everything else. It moves an insane amount of wind. I'm going to turn the light back on for you guys. Give you guys a visual of what it looks like with the light on while it's spinning. I might dim it down about halfway. And these are the exact bulbs that my grandparents used in the fan when they had it. So this is as original as possible to the one that my grandparents had in theirs. The light kit on this one is the one it came with it, but I might eventually put the other light kit on this one, the one that actually was on my grandparents' fan that they had like this one, just to make it as original as possible. Because I at least have 30% of the fan that they had installed. I got the shade, the original shades, the original light kit. So with these fans, you can't just replace the capacitor on them. Unfortunately, you've got to replace the whole remote receiver, which, fortunately enough, by my surprise, they're still orderable to this day. You order the Hampton Bay remote receivers, you can still get them on Amazon, so they're clearly not going to stop selling them anytime soon. Okay, so let's see here. I'm going to dim this down about halfway. Maybe a little more. I'll just keep it a glowing. Alright. I always liked reversing these things. Well, when I was younger, I always liked reversing it while it was on high because I liked how fast it stopped. I don't want to strain the motor too much, so I'm going to go to low. And I'm going to hit reverse. Listen, I don't know if you guys will hear it, but it'll make a clicking noise. I'm not sure if you guys heard that, but it made a clicking noise. So now we're on low, and it's going to slowly reverse. I'm going to kick it to high for a second, just to get it to do it faster. Alright, there we go. Now we're on reverse, low. And for this one, I'll probably keep the light on for every speed. It wobbles a tad more on reverse, as some fans always do. Luckily, the motor is like super quiet. I actually wanted to hear what the motor sounded like in this thing because I could have swore I was able to hear the motor that of the one that my grandparents had. Um, Towards the end there, I think I was able to hear its motor. When the capacitor was going out, of course, I think I was able to hear it humming a lot. Because the remote receiver, the capacitor is just completely integrated. You can see the capacitor, but it's glued onto a circuit board. So the whole thing just has to be replaced. Luckily, you can replace the remote receiver individually, or you can just get a whole new remote kit. So it's nice to know that Hampton Bay still sells the exact same remote receiver to this day for a light kit installation. And this does have an option for a no light. It's got a no light cover on it. I can actually show you guys it right now. It's with hands reach. So I could actually do this. Has a cap on the bottom. I could have done it with no light, but I'm sure my grandparents could have done it with no light too, but they rarely ever use the light on it, but I think they just like the look of fans better with lights on them. So let me show you guys one more time. Let me make sure I got that in frame actually. Oh, there we go. See, it's got a cap on the bottom, and then that's what it looks like on the inside. Obviously the finish is off in there, but that doesn't matter. Had to glue the cap back on though, because whenever I unboxed it, the light cap fell and it popped that cap off, so I had to glue that back on with a little bit of Gorilla Glue, so it's nice and strong again. Okay, let's go to medium reverse. These are called the iridescent bulbs, I think, because I just recently learned the name of them. I kept saying to myself, I need to learn the name of these bulbs so I don't ever have to look visually for them. I want to find the LED versions of these that are dimmable and look about the same color temperature, so I don't have to stress over not being able to use these constantly because of the electric bill. I at least want to use some that are more original. Because I'm sure if my grandparents were still alive to this day, they would have eventually swapped for LEDs, but they would have gotten the LED versions of what they already used. So I'm doing something like that. Okay, we do have a slight wobble on medium, but it's very hard to see. Let's go to high. And I'm gonna watch the Clarkston above me. I finally got the Clarkston's blades to be able to spin completely. So I'm gonna watch the Clarkston. I'll tell you guys when it starts moving. The blades are swaying. Oh, I don't think it's gonna move this time. It's got clearance to spin, but I don't think it wants to spin. I think it's just the location of the fan. So yeah, we got a slight wobble. It's really hard to tell, but we've got a little bit of a wobble happening now. I guess just for giggles, I'll reverse it just this one time on high, just to show you guys why I always like to reverse this thing while it was on high, because of how fast it slowed down and spun the other way. So here we go. We'll do spin down after it speeds up the other direction. Oh, I don't think it got that time. Is it not wanting to reverse? There we go. And there's that click. Yeah, I'm definitely not reversing it on high again. I got a really nasty hum from it just now. But I did it for the video, so that's really all that matters. You could hear a hum coming from it just then. Not a good idea to keep reversing it like that, but I did it just for the memories, and well, now that I have it doing that on video, I don't ever have to really reverse it like that again. I am getting a bit of a hum from it. Now that it's quiet in here, I do hear a hum from it. While it's on high, it does make an anonymous little hum there. I bet you it can only be heard on high though. Okay, we're gonna do fan off. I may or may not leave the light on. I don't know. Just depends on how it looks. So, fan off. And this thing, the blades. I mean, this thing's brand new. So it's pretty much been in a box for most of its life since being manufactured. So these bearings are anything but bad. I mean, these bearings, they glided like butter whenever I pulled them. Whenever I pulled out the motor from the box, like the blade arms were already attached. This is those quick connect blades, or those quick connect blade arms. So the blade arms were already attached to the motor. All I would have to do is line up those screw holes and then pull it through the notch, and then the pin will lock into place. And yep, boom, your blades are put in. And I could do a startup of this a lot better because, well, all I have to do is click high and it starts speeding up. I don't know if the Calera compares to this one in terms of spin down. I think this one comes close to the Calera. I haven't actually powered them both down at the same time while they were on high. That's actually something I need to do to see if this one compares to the Calera in terms of bearing quality. Because the Calera is not a new fan, but this one is. It's just been in a box for most of its life, so it's not new since manufacturing, but it is new in terms of usage. I've had this thing running on low for a few hours. I haven't ran it on high for too long yet. I don't want to stress out that remote receiver or capacitor. But it's a shame since summer's about to be over. Now the fans are not going to really be allowed to run on high because it'll make the house too cold. I mean, fall's coming, so I mean we could still use them, but it's going to cool down pretty darn quickly. Let me dim these lights. Ooh. Oh. That's interesting. Okay, we have stopped. It's actually kind of going the other way. That's cool. That is very interesting. I'm holding down the button. Oh, there we go. It was almost like it was trying to go into a demo mode there, but I don't think demo modes existed on these fans. So here it comes. Yeah, they very rarely ever use the light on this thing because it was so gosh darn bright. Alright, let's do startup on high. So we're going to click high. As Redingtons normally speed up pretty quickly. And I'm getting that hum from it again. But it's not a bad hum. That's the hum I remember. I just haven't used it on high speed in a quiet room yet. I've always had fans running, so I wasn't able to hear everything of this fan. It does have quite a bit of hum there. The reason why it's slowing down is because I'm messing with the speeds on it. I'm a little surprised at how much hum I'm getting from it now. I'll turn the light off. So this thing is definitely not bedroom quiet with its regular high-speed hum. On medium it definitely would be, but on high speed it's not bedroom quiet. And a lot of people, especially like me, love sleeping with fans on high because some people like me just can't sleep without a breeze. So yeah, there's quite a bit of hum there. I wonder if there's just something loose. It might be that top canopy. I'm not sure. But yeah. Oh, this video's already been 22 minutes long. But yeah, these fans were manufactured and carried regularly in Home Depot stores back in 1999. So these things were manufactured and sold before 2000. So it's no wonder they've got that little antique look to it, but modern at the same time. I'm going to bring you guys up close. Might be able to hear that hum now. See if I can touch something here and make it quieter. Oh, it's literally my shades vibrating. That's hilarious. I can make it different every time. Yeah, so it's literally just the shades. Depending on how the shades are adjusted is what noise it makes. Okay, it's quietest like that. It might eventually start making the noise again, though. Alright, let's turn it off. I'm going to slow it down by hand. I'm going to give you guys a top of the motor, like a top view of the motor and a bottom view of the motor. So here's the bottom view. This is why I liked it so much. I loved the way the motor was shaped. I forgot how massive the motor housing was compared to the rest of the fan. I mean, the motor housing's so large it makes the blade seem small for this kind of fan. Yeah, there's the bottom, and here comes the top. It looks pretty much the same on the top, except bowing out instead of bowing in. It's got some stickers up there. I'm gonna attempt to give you guys a startup of it. So let me kind of get it close here, and I'm gonna put it on high. Oh, actually, here. I'm gonna give you guys a close-up of the tick, or the clicking noise it makes. So turns out while the fan's even off, like on the remote, you can still hit reverse and you'll hear the relay click on the inside for reverse. you can hear the physical switch click. So I'm pressing button now. Pressing it again. That is cool. Alright, let's speed it up to high. And I'm going, or let's turn it on high. And then we're going to listen for a motor noise. You're probably not going to get much because I had to put my ear up to this thing earlier to even get a hum out of it. But now that the shades vibrate, I was like, that's weird. Okay, let's do this. 1, 2, 3. How cool is that? I don't know if you guys heard the hum there, but I was picking up on a little bit of hum from where I was standing, so I imagine you guys heard even more of it. Yeah, this thing for sure is a gem in my collection. I'm glad to at least finally have a bigger puzzle piece of my collection complete, which was finding my childhood fan and having it for myself. Um, I don't know if this thing will ever have permanent installations. I might just have it just to have it. I'm definitely going to buy a spare. Um, I'm definitely going to buy a spare remote receiver capacitor thing. Probably going to buy 2 of them. They're like $50 each from Amazon. See, I said they're being sold from Amazon, so clearly they have. There's no time soon that they're going to stop selling them. So Amazon still sells them. Um, the pictures that I found on Amazon, I mean, um, I actually took the light kit off of this one right when I got it, and I looked inside just to see what the inside of the switch housing looked like. And I saw the remote receiver in there. I was like, huh. So it's all integrated. You can't just separate the capacitor and replace the capacitor. You got to replace the whole device. So I was like, huh. Looks like I won't be running this fan much because I don't want to burn that out because potentially with how old this thing is, that wouldn't be sold anymore. Well, boy was I wrong, and I'm glad I was wrong because they still sell that exact remote receiver to this day. They actually sell they actually sell 2 versions of it. But I found the specific version with the specific inside parts, like the one I found had the capacitor was the regular black color on the inside of the receiver, so that's what this one looks like. And then another one that I found was the capacitor had like a bright yellow sticker on it or whatever. It looked kind of yellowish. I was like, well, that's definitely not what I need. And the reviews of the one that I found for this fan with the black capacitor in it and all, with no yellow sticker, they actually used it in a Redington 4. So clearly, that one can be used on this one as well, because the Redington 4 is pretty much the same thing, but with, I think the Redington 4 has pull chains. Or actually, I think versions of it have pull chains. You can get different versions of it. But this is a Redington 3, so this is an older model. And the Redington 2, I think, has screws to put in the light kit. So the Redington 3 is definitely a big upgrade. Because it's got those push together springs. You just make the springs go into through the shade, and then you just push it in and it pops in with a satisfying clank. You just don't want to push them in so aggressively. You want to kind of pull back on it a little bit as it goes in so it doesn't push in so aggressively to break those shades or whatever. But now I have one set of Redington shades there. I have another set somewhere. So there's one set of Redington shades, and then over here there's another set of Redington shades, and if I zoom y'all in over there, I still have the original Redington light kit that I took off my grandparents' fan over there. It's on top of the mini fridge. I don't want to zoom y'all in. I don't want to bug out the zoom in thing. You know what? I'll walk up to it. I'll make y'all's life easy so you don't have to zoom in on YouTube. And there it is. It still has the plug wired to it, and it still has the bulbs in it and the light shades. That's the original one. And, well, I have a spare light kit now too, so yeah, that's that. And there's the Harbor Breeze Calera. You know what? Just for giggles, I'm going to compare these two spin down. Oh, you know what? Yeah. I don't mean to make the video any extra longer, but I'm going to try this. So, let me see if I can get the Calera in the shot too. I'm going to have to lower you guys down. I guess I'm going to have to do it a different way then. Snap. Okay, you guys can see the Redington over there, and you can just see the Calera. So I'm going to send the Calera to high. And the Calera has a nice hum when it comes on. And then when the Calera finally gets up to speed, I'm going to pull the plug on both of them. Because I don't want to... I don't want there to be a delay stop with the other one because, well, if I turn this one off and then just hit the remote button on the other one, they're not both going to stop at the same time. It takes the other one a little bit of time to register sometimes. The Calera wobbles a little more than I remember. Okay. I'm going to unplug these. Okay, we got spin down now. Let's see which one does better. And I don't know if you guys heard it, but the Redington clicked again. It has a little relay that clicks when it loses power. I don't know if that's a protection device in there, or is it like... Because I know it remembers what setting you had it on. It just takes a second to come on. So this will be spin down and then I'll end the video. And yes, I do have a third fan put in. That is the Hampton Bay Southwind you see over to the left. I don't have it on right now because I don't want its motor noise or whatever noise it makes when it's running on any speed messing up the video, as well as the Calera. Ooh, I don't know. The Calera might actually beat this one. That's crazy, and the Calera is an outdoor fan. You would think of all fans, the Calera would be the one with bad bearings, or, well, slightly stiffer bearings anyway. This might be a close spin down. Make sure you guys are still in frame. Yeah, you guys can still see the Calera, and you can still see the Redington back there. So yeah, like I said, I can't use the wall control for the Redington because it's strictly remote control. And I think if I use the wall control, that'll probably mess up the remote receiver of how it works as well. I know remote controlled fans can be used on wall controls, but not that specific version because it's got a light on it too, so if I switch it to anything other than max, the light's going to be dim and the motor's probably going to struggle a little bit. I don't know. I don't want to test it because I don't want to burn out the receiver in this fan. Because I literally just got it and this thing costed me $400. Yeah, you heard it. I spent $400 on my childhood fan, but, you know, for your childhood fan, what won't you do anyway to get it? So now that I finally got one, I can rest easy now that I now have something that my grandparents used. Oh, and the Redington's already stopped, so the Calera actually is pretty much running a marathon here, shall I say. I love how the Redington's motor really shine with those lights. That's really cool. I like these lights that I put in. I decided to just steer away from the fluorescent lights or the spotlights that I did for one of the videos. I just decided to go ahead and settle for the yard lights that I bought a long time ago. I just decided to put my entire LED bulb collection in them, and I think it worked really well. I will eventually do a full tour of the test rig. Right now it's still a bunch of mess and stuff, but I will do a full test rig tour, and why not, I'll throw in a ceiling fan collection tour as well. It'll be an annual tour of everything in just this one room. There's a lot to cover in this room, from fixtures to testing rigs to every fan in my collection that is just currently in rested mode, which means it's just sitting there. And the Calera has just stopped. Okay, well, why the heck not? I'm going to plug them back in. The second you see the Calera start to spin is when I sent power. You're going to see how long the delay is with the Redington 3. The Redington 3 does have at least a second and a half delay. Maybe just a second, but it's not a bad delay at all. It just takes a second for the power to reach the device. There we go. Now these are both on high. They're blowing little pieces of paper everywhere. And since these fans both have a little bit of a hum to them, the humming noise is even louder now. So there you have it. We readjust you guys here. I'm gonna bring it back to recording mode for single fan instead of two fans. There we go. There. So yeah, we have that going. I'm gonna go ahead and turn off the Calera. Oh, I turned it to low. Let me turn it off. Actually, I'm gonna put it to low since I'm done pretty much with that half of the recording. I don't no longer need the interruptions turned off. So let me bring you guys over. So yeah, here's this over here again. I'm going to put it back on low where I had it. I run it on low most of the time. My grandparents ran it on medium a lot, I think. The only times they had it running on low is just to circulate heat. So I saw it on low and medium a lot. They rarely ever ran this thing on high. So there was a really long time when the capacitor was in failure mode. They ran it on medium a lot because that was the fastest spinning speed, I think. Or no, I think it was low. So let's go ahead and send this back to low. I wonder if the part number ordering thing still works, because I looked in the manual and it also has the part number for the remote receiver in there, even though I found it on Amazon. I wonder if the part number sheet still is active and in service. And it's an old fan, so I don't know if the part number or phone number even still works, since it's a big discontinued fan pretty much. At least some of its pieces are discontinued. They still use the blade brackets on other fans for Hampton Bay. The Hampton Bay Rockport, I think, or did I say that right? Rockport. If you search up like Hampton Bay Redington anything, it'll, like, if you go to shopping, because clearly it ain't sold regularly anymore. So if you search up Hampton Bay Redington 3 and go into shopping, it'll give you the closest match, which is the Hampton Bay Rockport, I think, or Newport, or whatever it's called. Something port, I know that. And it literally has the same exact blade arms, just in nickel instead of antique brass like this one. And the motor has got the little slits in it, but it's not like the really awkward mushroomy looking shape like this one. So it's the closest match, and it's got a 3 light kit instead of a 4. So yeah, that's kind of cool how they matched it up as close as possible. Huh. Yeah, let me turn on the Hampton Bay Southwind again. Now that I have 3 fans in here at once, I can run them all 3 on low and still have quite a bit of a gust of wind in here. Alright, so yep, that's the end of this video. This extremely long video, 40 minutes. Oh my gosh. Well, this fan deserves a 40-minute video because, well, it's a gem in my collection and it's my childhood fan, so it claims its rightful spot as one of my longer videos. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching.